Oregon on a bucket list item. So I drug my carcass out of bed because I started at 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, who the hell gets up at 8 o'clock in the morning? But it was pretty interesting to go in there and do that. So that was pretty fun.
Who gets up at 8 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah.
This guy right here gets up 4 hours before that.
I gotta rub it in. I'll be turning over about 4 hours.
Hey, there's the morning birds and then there's the night birds. My wife's a night bird. She could be up all night, and then I like as soon as my kids go down, I'm like 10 minutes later, I'm ready. Actually, oftentimes I'll put Jackson to sleep. He's my 2-year-old,
Mhm.
and I'll fall asleep with him.
Well, here's where I say this, and I mentioned this. It's kind of funny because it once again shows everybody operates at different things. And I said this a long time ago about a perfect daily schedule. Not everybody does at 4 a.m. get up, go to the gym, whatever. Like me, I get that shutdown time at night. It gets quiet. My phone's not ringing. I get everything done I need to do. And I just kind of wind down and get my me time. And
Yep.
that allows me to actually sleep in the morning that little extra bit. I'm about to start hitting the gym again next week, so my vacation's over. But I tell people your perfect daily schedule isn't based on I get up at 8 o'clock and so regimented that it's that strict. The perfect daily schedule for me is based on I get everything done, and I'm okay to rotate it and alternate it. If I was calling people between 9 and 11, don't work later in the week, whatever. So make it 1 to 3 or make it 4 to 6 or whatever. But it's just breaking it down so that within your day, on your daily schedule, you get everything done you need. 7 o'clock at night, my phone reminds me to check tomorrow's schedule. So I'm already setting my mindset for tomorrow, see what I need. If I need to confirm appointments, I already confirm what I need to do for the next day before. And when I shut it down, I'm done. And I mean, I know there's always, in real estate, there's always something needs to be done, but you got to understand when to walk away.
Now let me ask you this, Leon. Have you always been more of a night person? Like if you look at back to your childhood, even were you naturally going to be up later, or were you a morning guy?
Up late always. And then see, for me, in the flying world, flying wasn't a 9 to 5. So I would have alerts that were 2 or 3 in the morning and stuff like that. So it came down to work around a schedule for what you had to get done. And like I said, the funniest thing is I did coaching for a year and I was laughing so hard. I told you, it took me like 3 months to figure out this. These guys are getting up at 4 in the morning. They're going to the gym, this and that. I'm like, I'll never be able to do this. And then it's like, you know what? I'm just going to get this done. And then I started laughing when the aha came out. Like, wait a minute. Okay. My perfect daily schedule is I set these goals. I prioritize them, move them around. The end of the day, I got them done. That's the perfect daily schedule for me.
That's so true. And there's these sleeping quizzes and tests that I've done out there. Like some people are just naturally wired to wake up, and I've always been that person from the very earliest I can remember. My earliest memory was I was up first before anybody in the household. So just natural for me. Others not so much, right? So you kind of just know yourself and your biochemistry, and wherever it comes down to time blocking, of course, but my creativity is best first thing in the morning. At come 7, 8 o'clock, like I have nothing left to offer. Maybe watch a Netflix movie, but I'll fall asleep watching it. All right, you guys ready for a great mastermind? Let's get it started.
Yes.
So, sharing. Hey, Gabriel, do you have something you want to share, buddy? You're live and at it.
I want to share that. Let's see. I guess, um, not really. Just big wins all around. Lately I've been super excited about the role play sessions that I do. I'm not plugging it in. I'm just saying they're getting more and more intense, and people are walking away with value, and I'm watching them get better and better every time we role play, and it just keeps proving to me that you got to get really good at what you do, because street techs don't mess around, and they're going to get you a bunch of leads, and you better be ready to convert. And that's it.
I love it. So let's just put you on the spot right now and do a role play session.
Let's go.
Okay, who's who?
You can be the client, I guess.
Yes, well, I'll be the guy that's the random guy who just clicked on your ad. You mean?
Yeah, sure.
I'm not
Ring,
your
ring.
client. I'm not your client yet, Gabriel. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I'm
Ring,
annoyed.
ring, ring.
Hello?
Hi, may I speak with Marcus, please?
Yeah, may I ask who this is?
Yeah, hey Marcus, my name's Gabriel. I'm with XYZ Realty. I was calling because you had requested info on my website, and I just want to make sure I get that
Wait,
out
hold
to
up,
you.
hold up. I was just curious. I didn't even know there was someone
Yeah,
on the other side of this. I thought I was just getting automatic home value.
yeah, isn't that awesome? Somebody's actually dedicating time to you specifically. I mean, that's unheard of nowadays, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, no, yeah.
are you planning to make a move in the next few months?
Ooh, you know, I'm just seeing everybody sell in this neighborhood, and I'm just curious. I mean, I just got my assessment back.
Yeah,
I just, I don't know. There's so much going on in this country right now, politically speaking. We have a lot of questions. We don't know
yeah.
if we want to be here.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's understandable. And I think that the way the prices are going, it's fortunately that's one good thing that's out of everything that's happening. It's giving you so many options. Like if you do want to move, you can move and you're going to take some money with you, you know? So I assume you guys own the home that you're in. That's why you're requesting the value. If you were to move, where would you like to go next?
You know, good question. We've thought about a couple places. Kauai being
Hmm.
one of them, Texas.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, those are my two favorites at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, they're both beautiful places. I'm sure you can build a new chapter there.
Yeah, but
Is it?
it's so the prices are all over the place. I don't even know where to begin. So I feel like if I
Yeah,
sell, I don't know where I'm gonna buy. The market's so high at the moment, so it's just one of those things where I'm just more curious.
absolutely. Yeah,
Yes,
and that's where a lot of people are. You know, there's a lot that goes into it once you start doing the research and going into the details of why homes are so high and why, why they're higher in some places than other places. That's exactly why we need to meet so we can go over all of
is
those
this? But
details
let me ask you: is
specific.
this a bubble?
Yeah,
Like, when is this gonna stop? Like, how long? I'm hearing all these things. Is inflation 40-year high?
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, like, let's face it. Like, the world is in disarray. Is this market? Could we trust it? Is it gonna keep going?
yeah.
I don't know if the timing's right.
Well, that's exactly what we're going to go over. And by the time we're done, you're going to have those answers for yourself. And not only you're going to have the answers, but I like to say, I like to teach people how to fish, not give you fish. So from our meeting forward, you will never have those questions again because you'll know what to look for in the market, in the trends, in your neighborhoods, right? So what I can do is send you over a market evaluation, give you some tips on what to do and what not to do, most importantly, and definitely show you more or less what you're going to walk away with in your pocket at the end of the day. And there's no obligation, it's totally free. Typically, when's a good time for you and I to get together and go over this?
You know, um, 12 to 1 would be ideal. I have four
Mhm.
kids, and that's kind of my lunch break at the
Oh, the
time. So, yeah, 12 to 1. Does that work for you?
absolutely. I have three myself, so I know exactly what you mean. But yeah, tomorrow it's what? Thursday or Friday at 1 o'clock. Which one's better for you?
Friday at noon.
You got it. So what I'm going to do is send you over a package with some information. Go over it with you and I'm assuming your wife, your spouse. And if any questions you have, please let me know, and I'll confirm with you tomorrow about our appointment on Friday at 1 o'clock or at noon.
Perfect.
Right?
Perfect.
Okay. All
Thank you.
right. Thanks,
All right.
Marcus. Thanks for your time.
Cheers,
Bye.
buddy. Bye.
So this is Adrian. Gabriel, I have a question for you, which
Yeah.
is
Sure. Sure.
in circle prospecting, when you're doing it over the phone, you get
Yes.
a lot of how did you get my number? And it's not
Yes.
a nice question. How do you
Right.
respond to that?
I tell them I tell them exactly how I found their number. So if I'm on Mojo and I do the neighborhood search, hey,
Mhm.
wait a minute, how'd you get my number? Well, I have this software that's exclusive to licensed professionals like myself, which gives me all of the information of homeowners in the area, and that's how I found you.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right, like what are you going to say to that? you know, Sometimes honesty is the best policy, and that's just across the board forever, right? I mean, what are you going to tell them? Like, it's just give them the truth.
I
Just
hired a
you're
private
coming.
investigator to stalk you professionally.
Yeah.
No,
Like,
I
what are you
like the
going to tell
idea
them?
of I have a resource that is privy to professionals of real estate,
Exactly.
and that's where we get our information from. That was very on point. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
A lot of times I don't even have people ask me that because I usually say that they were on what I just saw while you were on one of our online sites, so we're reaching out to you. And you got to remember, people go through so many sites. We're not the only one. So the big part when I'm talking to them initially coming out the gate is they don't know where they were 10 minutes ago on the web or which site they went through. So
Mhm.
it hardly ever comes up with me. When I say you were just on one of our online sites and I'm reaching back out to you, half the time they don't remember if they entered a number or not. They don't know.
Yeah,
Well, it's
and
interesting that I
also,
get it more. I get it more. We have communities here that where clients are, they've been in their homes, 25, 30, 35 years. The older the potential client, the more resistant they are because
mhm,
they've been threatened with emails and cards, etc., about selling their home, etc. So they feel threatened. So they're a lot
yeah,
more into, how did you get this kind of
yeah,
attitude, which you don't get when you circle prospect in person. I door knock, especially nowadays, telling people that I'm celebrating a listing that I just sold, and I don't get any negative feedback. It's just on
yeah.
the phone. So I
How, think
appreciate
about
your.
this. Think about this. When you're on the phone, people can't see you, right? They just hear you. You could be some scammer in another country just trying to get information, right? So the question is this: how can you paint them the picture of who you are on the phone in a few seconds? And that's your opening right there. And it really depends on just your confidence, your mindset, and your approach when you're talking to people. Because like Leon says, he hardly gets that question. I'm kind of the same way when I do cold calling. I don't really get that question like, hey, how'd you get, because I'm painting them a picture up front right away. If I could, I drop street names or neighborhood names or a business, whatever. um, and that's why I think when being a part of a company that's like well branded is another advantage, right? But there's many ways. The thing is just paint the picture for them so that they're not painting their own picture about you from what you're saying, which is why your opening is so important. Even when cold calling or circle dialing, the opening line is so important. And the not yes what you say, but how you say it and how much you practice it, right? And that's why I'm such a fanatic about practicing and role playing, because otherwise you're going to practice on your clients, and that's just not, and like, I don't suggest you do that. I suggest you practice and warm up before you make the calls every single day.
Can I add on to
Thank you.
the end of that, Gabriel?
Yeah, for sure.
I called someone yesterday. It was a lead that came in yesterday morning. They gave me name, address, phone number, email. And I looked it up beforehand, and I know the area really well. I used to live over there, and it was 5 acres with a barn and a house. And I mean, it was definitely my avatar, right? My niche.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you could come in to his property through 2 different areas. So I referenced both those roads that lead into the road that he lived on. And I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, well, what would be their best route? Do you come in this way or do you come in that way? So to what you said, the street names around it and whatnot. And
Yeah,
we just sat there and had a really nice conversation. And it's going to be like a million, probably 2. And just I was telling him what I was putting together for him, and I would drop it off. I'd send a copy in the email, and he goes, "No, wait a minute. I didn't order that. That sounds expensive." And then I had Marcus in my brain, and I said, "No, it's totally complimentary." So, but because I've been around Marcus and I've been on these masterminds, you know what to say, or you learn, like you
right,
said, practice what to
right.
say, and all of it just flowed right off my tongue, and I went, "Dang, Marcus taught me well."
Exactly.
So it was cool. It was a really cool conversation to have with this guy.
Yeah, there you go. You painted the picture for him, and that kind of brings me to a point of um, what it means to be a great salesperson. Being a great salesperson does not mean being able to convince people and close people, right? That has gotten way out of proportion. Like, being a great salesperson means being a professional. It means knowing how to communicate with people effectively. It means knowing how to paint the picture. It means a lot of things. So that's something I think everybody should reflect on your own time and with other people, is truly reflecting. What does it mean to be a great salesperson? What does that entail? When you hear of great salespeople, what are their qualities that make them a great salesperson, right? And I truly, firmly believe that part of it is practicing your presentation, whether it's role playing or practicing scripts or both, because it's completely different exercises, right? You can totally just role play and become really good, or you could just practice scripts and become really good, or you can do both and then apply it. So now you're doing three things to condition your mind and your skills to become a great professional salesperson. Okay. So, I mean, that I can go on and on about that. And there's really a lot of depth to it. And, you know, anytime you guys want to go over it, I'm happy to.
It's awesome. I mean, this last mastermind, just previously we did some role play, right? And we talked about like the hot topic, the subject at the time was, should we pick up the phone if a lead comes in right away or wait?
Yeah.
And I think the consensus is, well, pick it up right away if you have this type of approach, right? I think chances are that conversation will begin pretty smoothly, you know, even with someone on the defensive, if you're ready to overcome that objection with kindness. And, you know, exactly how, you know, your role play started with me, Gabriel. That was awesome. And if anybody needs practice on that, I mean, literally there's a link right there. Click on it and practice. You know, practice makes perfect. Any good, efficient salesperson didn't just start that way. You may be natural, but it's always great to go into this with other professionals, especially with StreetText leads.
Also, I want to add to that is, you know, like in the presentation, like the listing presentation, I always teach people that, the better you get at it, and when you pre-qualify your clients before showing up, you can eliminate objections within your presentation. They might have them on their mind before you show up, but because you know their concerns, you tailor your presentation to them and you're like just knocking them out one at a time. By the time you're done, the most natural, effortless next thing to do, the clients go, well, honey, I mean, what do we need to do to move forward? Like, how would you like more of that to happen? Instead of when you're done, they go, okay, well, what about this and this and this? You know, that's on a macro scale, and micro is like every single phone call, you can do that too. You already know the most common things that might happen. So try to get really good at eliminating those objections within the first few seconds of your phone call, right? So today I role played somebody that does just circle dialing, but their approach is a little more cold, like let's call 1,000 people and see who answers these questions, right? And it's more like when you call somebody, for example, instead of saying, hi, my name is blank, I'm a professional real estate agent here in the area, and I was wondering, have you ever thought about selling your home? It's like, whoa, hold on a second, I'm not interested, right? Or saying, hey Marcus, it's Gabriel, my name's Gabriel, I'm a realtor here, we just sold the home in your neighborhood, and we know that usually when one sells, a couple more sell right away for even more. I was just wondering if you've even thought about moving. Like, what are people going to say to that? You know, they're going to, oh, well, no, never really thought about it, but so what'd they sell for? You know, or those trigger words, you're just painting the picture for them. You're eliminating objections before they even happen, right out of the gate, you know. And I want to say this, like, practicing scripts, role playing, and becoming a great salesperson as far as the communication part of it, it's not something that's unreachable. Everybody can do it. And once you're there, you're there. It's just a matter of maintaining that skill set, like going to the gym. It's the same thing. We have to have a gym for everything. And this is the gym for your business and your communication and your mindset. Because I always tell people this, like, the reason you don't like prospecting is because you don't get the results when you do it, right? You don't like the results you're getting. So when you get really good and then you push through those first few to get the results, then you get excited. And then we're not going to be able to keep you off the phone or the doors, because logically you're like, wait a minute, for some reason, every 25 people I talk to, I get a listing. Like, please get out of my way, right? Just either help me or stay out of my way. And that's why it all just simultaneously works together. You know, you can't just do one or the other. Okay. So yeah, those are my thoughts on that.
I love it. What about for people that have been with StreetText for a while, whether it's with seller leads or buyer leads, and you know, if you're, I'm gonna put Wendy on the spot right here. Hey, Wendy. Like 800, 1,000 plus leads in, you know, does she start at the bottom and start dialing? Would that be wise? Or like from the very first lead that came in, and, you know, what would be, or just stay at the top where the latest lead came in? Like, what
I like the fresh ones, but I like to stay in contact with the old ones, and those simple little emails asking people if they want a new updated value because the market's changed, you know, get through. And then they're like, yeah, sure. What is it? You know? So I don't really like to call them, but I like the fresh ones because they're like, you know, they already know what you're talking about.
Why?
So,
I mean, you know what? I would love a phone call from you, Wendy. I would appreciate that. I think you'd be great. I'm just calling.
I think as far as calling the leads, you always want to call the new ones first. Like, just
yes.
The goal. Here's the goal. You want to talk to people as soon as possible, period. Right? So if a lead is 7 weeks old and that's as soon as possible for that lead, then so be it. That's fine. You had to try 17 times. That's fine. That's still as soon as possible for that lead. And all the follow-ups that they're getting, all the voicemails, all the texts, all the bomb videos, if they're not blocking you or telling you to stop, let me tell you just from my own personal experience, when I get stuff that I sign up for and don't respond, right? Like, I'm literally ignoring people that are contacting me. It's because in my mind, I'm going, not yet, buddy, but keep following up, please. Not yet. I'm not ready, but please keep sending me the text messages. Because when I sign up for something, it's because I'm interested. And it's just like, I'm not ready to talk to you right now. And I want to avoid that conversation of rejection or whatever. So think about it from your guys' perspective. Somebody signed up, they do want to talk to you, just not right now. When you call them right away and you catch them, then that's a great thing. But if it takes time, that's just as good. It's just a matter of keep trying every method, because everybody responds differently and in a different speed.
Also, though, most active to least active, because even though you break everybody,
Yeah.
You break it down. So like I know they don't have HomeBot up north, but one of my things I do is I look at HomeBot, I look at activity, I see who's in there, and as you learn people's habits and stuff like that, the guy that comes in and looks at 3 a.m, he's not trying to be bothered by you. But when I see the people that are most active, I'll engage them as well. So because they're doing something, no one gets out of bed going, I'm selling my house today, and do it. So,
Yeah.
you know, and I look, not that I measure my stuff that much, but a lot of my deals last year, 2017 is how long I had them in the pipeline. They finally, and understand, markets are different. Our market is so brutal. Hi, Sarah in Seattle. Our markets are so brutal up here that they don't just do something quick. And then the other thing of mine was I had more people that were leaving the state of Washington, relocating. So as you get things in there, it is really important. StreetText lets you do this as well on the platform. Tag your people so you know what they're doing, if they were relocating or moving or this or that, because when you sit here, that window of opportunity is not that wide. So when I pull your name up in my database, I look, oh, I talked to them this, okay. So now when you talk to them, number one, they appreciate the fact you remembered them to begin with. And they're surprised, oh my God, you remembered that. Oh yeah, last time I talked to you, you're going to the vet. How's Bootsy the dog? You know, but you tag your folks, and then when you get them on the phone, you can keep the conversation short, but you're getting the message across you need to deliver. And like I say, mine active, the least active, even if I just shoot you a market report or something with a follow-up schedule behind it, it gets it done.
Mm-hmm. Also, remember, you want to be treating your active leads like your database, right? So in my coaching program, one of the big topics is reaching out to your database regularly, whether they're buying or not, right? So I mentioned it before, I'll share it again. Start to treat your database like you're an asset manager, right? What do? They just keep managing like a property manager. They keep managing the properties. When people are not buying or selling, don't forget about them. You got to reach out to them over and over and over. So what StreetText is amazing for is building that database, because people constantly are like, well, I ran out of people to talk to. It's like, well, then you need to get StreetText so you cannot run out of people to talk to, because you want to keep following up with all of them. So I'm saying this because, old leads, new leads, buying, not buying, whatever. If you've already followed up with all your active leads and you have time or you don't have any deals, you need to keep going and just follow up with everybody. Like every single voicemail, text, message, friend, everything you do is a mini commercial that's just keeping you out there and keeping you going and keeping you in front of everybody, right? So once the initial process has happened with the leads, and maybe it's not as fast of a conversion, definitely start to treat it as you would treat your database. And I say that, and I think if you're ignoring your database, that's a whole other conversation we absolutely need to have, okay? Because you can't keep building the database and ignoring it. That's basically like doing nothing, because if you're ignoring them, they have no idea who you are by next month, for sure. Okay.
Love it. This is gold, guys. This topic's amazing. Keep it rolling. And if you have any questions for Gabriel, ask him right now while we're on the topic. But also feel free to share your wins, or you could just ask a question. Up to you. But unmute yourself right now.
Hey, Gabriel, are you doing that every day, or what days are your sessions?
It's normally Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. For the next couple of weeks, it's only Wednesday and Thursday, 8 a.m. Pacific time, so Southern California time. And I schedule it for 30 minutes, but we go sometimes 45 minutes, and it's not something that, log in as you can, participate as you can. But I do want to say this, like, if you schedule yourself to be on, please show up. Like, I cap the amount of people that can be on the call so that I can give a certain amount of attention to everyone. So, if you register and you can't make it, just, cancel it. It's no big deal. If you register, make it. If you make it, please be in a quiet place where you can focus, turn on your camera, turn on your mic. It's a proactive, interactive activity, event. It's not, I'm not trying to get hundreds of people to watch me talk, like, not at all, right? We role play. That's it. We role play. Then I break down the strategies, the techniques. I go really super deep. So we'll do like 1 or 2 role plays. And then from those 2, it gives me a ton of stuff to break down that helps shift your guys' mindset and understand why we're doing what we're doing and why it works and how to take advantage of it for yourself. So yeah, you guys are all invited. It's mainly really, I made it for Marcus and for StreetText. Definitely my coaching clients, we've always done it, but it's something that specifically I invite Street Texters only. You can invite other people, but for the most part, it's for StreetText.
It's awesome. Cool, guys. Keep it rolling.
I'll say something real quick. The role play sessions that we have today, I think we went 45 minutes, and my wife even popped in towards the end because we had been talking about she wants to start making calls and stuff like that. And yeah, I get so much out of it because I get to hash out what happened during the week, like when I'm actually applying what I've learned through coaching and through scripts and role play. And when I lay out a live situation on what just happened to me last week, it just gives me a little more clarity, and I can move my rock one more link down the road, So I feel next time I make that call, I'm a guy that rambles a lot on the phone, like, hey, blah, 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 and I'll just keep talking. I don't give them a chance to talk. So now I know that. And I used to say, let me ask you a question. And I no longer do that. So I just ask the question. growth is happening. It feels good, even though, whatever is whatever, but I am getting appointments, I'm getting stuff happening. Just to be able to talk a little bit better and not be afraid of the phone, or not be so trapped in my old ways. Like sometimes I don't even practice before I call. I just see the thing come in and I'm like, boom, I call them right away and just fly by the seat of my pants. That is not a strategy, but it's what I use to get past the fear. That's just one of the tools I had, screw it, just do it, going guns blazing, and who knows how many leads I'm blowing doing that. So the role play and the scripts and dialogue has helped me out tremendously. So I highly recommend it. I would hope to see some of you guys in there. It'd be awesome.
That's a really good point of blowing through leads. Like, hey, look, we're blessed to have StreetText and fill up your pipelines, and that's fine. And yeah, you can treat it like, oh, well, I'll just turn it up. Screw my skills. I'll just do what I can with what I have. It's like, well, you can if you want to blow off hundreds of thousands of dollars, which is exactly what you're already doing with StreetText or not, by not improving your skill set. The very foundation, like if you look at my marketing stuff, my website and everything, like all I say is that this is my promise to people, like, let's master the principles of the success. And from there, you could take it anywhere you want, and I think when people avoid improving their skill set because it takes work, it's like going to school again. It's like coaching is like going to university. Role play practice is like going to a class that's an ongoing, there's nothing overnight about what I do or role playing or, so I want you guys to think about how many leads you've just lost out on because you're not willing to do what it takes to absolutely increase your skills, your efficiency, your systems, your knowledge of personality styles. There's so much to it. It's crazy. But the good news is this: everybody can get there. It's not some difficult thing to do. And once you're there, you're there. It's just a matter of maintaining it now, like doing the gym thing, right? Just keep going. Whatever the little things you're doing, you just keep doing them over and over and over, and grow your business.
Awesome. Joe, you have a question?
Yes. Hi. I'm new to StreetText, and I'm already getting leads, so I'm excited. So my question was, is there like a best known method for each campaign? Basically from calling scripts to setting up text and email with video and all that. Is there like a best known method saying, hey, this is what we've seen as tried and true? Or is everyone just doing their own thing and kind of seeing how it works, or what are your thoughts on that?
Go watch the replays, because every week there's so much more stuff thrown in there. So I would say this: when you're in the car, can't do nothing anyway, go pull up on YouTube. Don't watch it while you drive it, but you can listen to what's on there. And everybody in every area has so much different things going on, Joe, that when you listen to some of the replays, you're like, oh, wow, pick what works for you and try it. But there's so much stuff already stored in the YouTube StreetText thing. You'll get answers to questions you didn't even know you had yet.
So if I go to YouTube, I just look up StreetText, just StreetText. What was that?
Yeah, on the channel, or on their Facebook page also. And I want to add to what Leon said. Like, there is so much value in watching all of those things. The most important thing I can tell you is this: like, watch the stuff, take notes, think about it, but don't get overwhelmed because for example, Linnea Carver, she's a great example of taking action, right? She has it all worked out. And when she tells you everything she does, your mind is just like, holy crap, that's a lot, because she's been doing it a while. Plus she's super proactive and high energy, right? So what I'm saying is this: as you're watching, take the nuggets that fit what you're already doing or trying to do and improve what you're doing as you go. And little by little, you'll start to hear the strategies from everybody, people that do things different. But for some things, the way that person does it is not going to work for you. It's just, it could sound amazing, like, oh my God, I want to do that, but it's just not going to be a good fit for you, right? At the moment. Now, when you build your business and you have momentum and you have systems and efficiency and help and support, yeah, then you go back to that idea and you go, oh my God, now's a great time to pull the trigger on that thing I've been wanting to do that I heard from StreetText, right? So definitely, first, try not to ever miss the masterminds and the events that they put out for you. And then just don't try to do it all. Like I always say, don't do more, just do more of what you're already doing and improve it, you know?
So
That's
one other
good.
question. Joe, have you looked at the Street Text Academy to set your stuff up?
I just started. I think I got the texting going, and then this is my first video, so today was like my day to start kind of poking around in there.
So before you get like way ahead of yourself and have to throw it in reverse and back up over some cones trying to get back into parking, start at the beginning. And I say this straight up, I was talking about this before. People get away from the training aspect of this. If you don't have your system set up, you get down the road, then you wonder why nothing's working and you create your own frustration. So go into StreetText. They've got the academy. It's all in there. They laid it on the dashboard. This is so much easier than it used to be because now you can actually find it and look at that, sit down with it. Once again, make the notes, ask the questions, get your dashboard and StreetText set up right. That way your automations and all that, things you'll be asking down the road, because you'll be looking at these videos going, what are they talking about? What are they talking about? And it's all already there. So block out, even if you block out 30 minutes a day, preferably an hour for the next week, just get your thing up and running, because what you'll find with that automation in place, it makes your life so much easier. And then you're able to go in there and do what you're in here supposed to do, convert stuff rather than fix stuff.
Yeah, that's good. And Joe, I'll add. So Jennifer Salter has closed dozens of home seller leads, so listing leads. And when you get leads in StreetText, you're going to get three kinds of leads. You're going to get address only, so people who just submitted their address, and then there's a follow-up strategy for that. There's going to be people who submit their address and then their email address, and there's going to be people who submit their address, their email address, and their phone number. So starting with the address onlys, that's going to be once you've set up your home value add and your custom domain, that's going to be the bulk of your opportunities, your address onlys. And so what Jennifer Salter does is really great. So she, and this is exactly like her go-to strategy. I just pulled it up right here. So she doesn't do mailers. So when she gets an address only lead, her first stop, she goes to her county website and she looks up that address to find their name. Once she finds their name, she goes into Facebook and she searches them up on Facebook. And when she finds that person, what she does is she goes and she does exactly what Marcus suggests, which she adds them to her StreetText friends list within Facebook. And then she sends them a friend's request. And in the friend request message, she says, basically, hi, so-and-so, thanks. I have your valuation that's basically ready to go for 123 Main Street. You forgot to let me know what your email was so I can get that over to you. What's your email? And she said she gets a 30 to 40% response rate on her address onlys just from doing that one thing. And then she said, for those I can't find, that way she looks up on LinkedIn. And then for phone numbers, when she's got the phone number, the address, and the email, but they're not converting into conversations, what she does is she uses BombBomb, another recommendation, so follow, you don't have to jump into this right away, but this is kind of for everybody as a group. So what she does is she sends out those videos, and in the very first value she's BombBomb she sends is a generic one. So she says, here's what your home price is on Zillow, Trulia, basically here's the internet's best guess. They don't have any idea what your home's worth. The market's changing every single day. This is why you need an in-person appointment. And this is why you need me. And then she follows that up because she checks every single day. Every day she logs in and she checks her emails that have been opened. And for the ones that have been opened, but they're not like actually following, like they're not going back to her. What she does is she then sends an email, hey, in this example, like, hey Jason, thanks so much for requesting your valuation. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you're thinking. What do you think the best part of the valuation was? Or what other information do you have questions about? I'm here to help. And so she does it all through this style. And then for people who haven't opened the email, so she can see that they've received it, but they haven't opened it, she checks after 3 days. So every day she's checking. And then if they're 3 days old, she's like, okay, they're not going to open my email. It's probably gone into junk, or they're just like, think it's spam, or they just don't know who I am. She sends it again, and she says, but she sends the exact same email. So she copies and pastes it. She like literally copies the original email, she pastes it, she sends it again, but she changes the subject line to your valuation for 123 ABC Street is here, second attempt. And that's exactly what she sends. And from that's when she gets, people are like, oh yeah, I really did ask for that. So then she gets those conversations started. And that's really like critical. I'll share this whole thing later today in an email, but like that's her follow-up process, and it works great for home seller leads. And that's exactly what she says, and that's how she says it. And she gets her conversation started from there.
That's killer.
If you're getting started, that's your ready to go map.
That's pretty good. How are you going to email it? Just should I send you an email?
I'll send it to the insider list.
Yeah, and by the way, if you go to this StreetText Academy right here in the dashboard, she does have her own course too. So that's something to consider too. Like if you're just like, I want to see all 36 lessons, just think about it. She updates it all the time. Another free 99, as we like to talk about, was yesterday's LCA event we did with Linnea Carver, specifically on seller lead conversion. So if you guys get a chance to watch that, that was pretty powerful. And Linnea's here too. She had some excellent tips on her own follow-up. It's crazy, guys. There's so many different ways to do it. You know, there is so many ways to do it, but I think you'll find that there's some parallels with everybody. I think video is a big one for you, Joe. Think about it in the sense of like, they don't know you yet, and they're just trying to feel if you're authentic or not. Having video inside of that with BombBomb, both on the automations with your follow-up. Even if you think about the basic principles of Facebook, you know, we call it Facebook stalking. It really isn't. It's just essentially trying to create a relationship opportunity. And so look at it that way, whether you're sending video text messages, video emails, the mailers, all of that. It's all just a way of connecting and bringing value their way.
Another thing that I started doing that I actually disclosed on the thing yesterday, on the call yesterday, was so if someone comments, I mean, if any of you follow me on my personal Facebook page, I did this big video the other day about trolls, right? Because we all get trolls on our ads. Like, it's going to happen, and it's okay, because engagement is engagement. Like, no publicity is bad publicity, right? So I'm all about the engagement. So one thing that I've started doing with all the comments that I get on my ad, like my home value ad that I've been running for a month has so many comments on it, but I send them a video message through Facebook, and I just say, hey, thank you so much for your engagement on my post. I'd love you to follow me on Facebook, and just leave it at that. And I will tell you that has definitely helped the insights on my Facebook biz page and helped my email opens. So that's another, Rochelle was trolling me. It's okay. You're not the only one, Rochelle. But I will tell you, the Facebook video message, through like those people that are like liking your page or liking the comments or liking the ads or commenting on your posts, like just reach out to them and be like, hey, thanks for engaging. And I get laughs, or I'll get comments, or get like good little conversations going. So that's a huge.
Sometimes I just respond on the thread with that video. Like, oh, this guy's a scammer. I'm like, hey, what's up, Joseph? Gabriel Levine here. Just want to let you know I'm not a scammer, but if you do want your home valuation, click the link. We'll talk soon. Done. I think just let it roll. Yeah, because yes, do it.
Try that now.
Yeah, comments, video comments. That's a new thing. I think you have to do that from your phone though. Can't be done through the Mac or the computer. So make sure when you comment back with the video, it's on your phone.
Don't be afraid of video, guys. Please, just, it's no different than going outside and people seeing you. It's no different than Facebook video, right? Like, you don't go outside and cover your face. So don't do it online.
They're gonna have to see you eventually anyway. So the question is, why hide? And I always say, if you're starting out new with video, want to get comfortable, stand behind the camera, go ahead and go out and make a few community videos or whatever you're doing, and then eventually just turn it on yourself. Because if you're not willing to get in front of the people now, what makes you think you're gonna be more comfortable getting in front of them later? So this is a job you have that you have to be open to the public. So don't hide.
Yep.
And you guys, every Wednesday from 8 to 8:30, I host a call where I actually talk more about video tips and how I use video in my marketing. So if you're interested in that, just let me know and I can give you a link for that too.
Love it. Wednesday morning.
Post it in the group.
Yeah, post it in the group so you guys go straight to from the session with Linnea to the mastermind, and you guys will just be buzzing.
Yeah. So I talk a lot about, Sarah's on there every week. I talk a lot about video content and how to use it in your marketing, in your communication, to generate leads, to convert leads. So feel free to join. I'd love to have you there.
Free 99. There's a lot of free 99s. I find with StreetText, like the StreetText platform and solutions got so much value to it, but at the end of the day, it's not the investment of your money as much as it's the investment of your time, right? So make use of all these opportunities to really become an expert and, learn from the professors. Linnea's kind of become a professor. Leon's a professor. Gabriel's a professor of success. These guys have done it, laid the platform behind them like you're standing on the shoulder of giants. What time and days again, please, was the question?
Right a half hour before this call every Wednesday, 8 to 8:30. And I don't go over time. I'm very, very clear about getting off at 8:30. So it's a half an hour call.
Awesome. Well, we're on the topic of seller leads. Does anybody want to switch over to buyer side?
We actually talked about buyers on the call this morning because buyers are like hard. Buyers are challenging right now. I think most people that I talk to, buyers are very challenging. I know a lot of people have really focused so heavily on sellers, but the reality is, you need buyers for the long-term business, especially like here where I'm at. Like Leon was saying a second ago, if all my clients are sellers, which right now I'm very seller focused, which is great. But of my sellers, 2 of them are staying in state. I have 16 coming up and 2 are staying in state. So if I'm not focusing on buyers, where's my business going to be next year? Right. So that's one thing that I was really, I've really been focusing on is getting buyer leads out there. I actually had my ISA service actually transferred a hot lead over to me this morning. I booked an appointment from a buyer lead, and it's whatever ad I'm running on StreetText right now. So that one seems to be working. It's still working. So just find what your buyers are find what people are looking for in your area, and just keep going. That's all I say. Just keep going. Can't stop.
Awesome. Let's break that down a little bit. So I think you have like a 3-bedroom, 2-bath list or something. If that's.
I think the one that, I don't know if it's a 3-bedroom home. I've had 2 buyer ads running for a minute. One was waterfront homes. One was 3-bedroom homes. It's one or the other because both of those things are pretty popular around here.
Hello. How are you?
Oh,
we're great.
I'm
Thank
just gonna
you.
mute Jim. I'm doing great, Jim. So with that, I think it was a 3-bedroom because I remember looking at your ad just yesterday.
Yeah,
so okay, so your ISA, you've got an ISA. How did she call to initiate the conversation? What was the transfer like, and what did the conversation? How did that begin for you?
So right now I'm using an ISA service called Conversion Monster. They for my buyer leads, my seller leads I call myself. But my buyer leads go to another ISA service, and they just have a script that I've given them. It's hey, it's so-and-so calling from Linnea Carver Home Team. We see that you're checking out 3-bedroom homes or waterfront homes or whatever it is. How can we help you with your search? And then they go through a series of qualifying questions. And when they transfer over to me, it's just oh, hey, this is what you're looking for. Okay, let me get your search set up for you right now. What does your time look like this weekend to go out and take a look at some of these homes? And I just go right into it because the ISA has already asked if they've been pre-qualified. They've already asked all those questions. So by the time they're getting to me, I don't even want to ask those questions again. It's literally just, hey, when can you go out? So that's how that's working for me.
Awesome. So that would be on the funnel template, everybody. It's the third funnel that you see from the funnels standpoint. It's, I think, the third ranked funnel that we have, which means out of all the cost per leads, that's number 3 right now. Because all those funnels, by the way, if you haven't taken notice on them, put your mouse over it. It's aggregated data. It's showing you how many people are testing it right now and what the average cost per lead is. So you should really be staying within the top 6, probably, to be honest, at the moment. But we do have a couple that are emerging right now. We don't rank them until there's 300 people on it. Logan, put you on the spot if you're here. Do we got Logan on the call? Maybe not. But
One real quick question, Linnea, because I like what you're doing. You know me, I'm just down the street from you, and just the fear of the buyer leads. What I like is you're running a higher end buyer lead and you shorten the radius. What is your ad cost done? Is it spiked up higher or been probably average for the area?
My buyer leads right now are running me like $290 a lead. So they've gone, I think, like, it's pretty low as far as I'm concerned. My seller leads are running about, like, for full contact, it's like $6, or like for just an email address, it's costing me like $4. So, I mean, it's pretty good for a buyer lead. But I took the radius that I'm doing is I kind of changed up the address a little bit, and I'm actually getting a little bit of a better quality, like better price point. So most of the people that are coming into my CRM, because the buyer lead ad leads them directly to a squeeze page in KV Core. Once they look at 2 homes, then it automatically plugs them in and sets them up on a property search. And most of those that are coming in are looking at, 600 plus, which is a pretty good price point.
How far a radius are you running? Are you pin dropping, or how far is your radius? Instead of 15 miles, I know you shrunk it down.
No, you can't shrink it down because of the ad. I just shrunk down the picture. If for the waterfront homes one, I shrunk down the picture, and for the seller one, I shrunk down the picture.
So I guess I'd ask Jonathan, or can't we shrink the radius down if we pin drop? So if I went and got a waterfront home that I liked at $1 million, can I go like 5 mile radius on that for a pin drop?
No, you're still gonna have to do the 15-mile minimum radius. You're talking about like with the advertising targeting?
Yes.
Yeah, the minimum radius is 15 miles. But that said, what you can do is you can move the pin drop so it kind of goes over the water. And what that will do is it'll limit, so you're only targeting what's in the land. So you are effectively doing exactly that. So you're bringing it down to about a 7-mile radius, which is way more targeted.
I'll let you know how that works next week.
And you can do that with mountains too. So like if you have a park area that is very rural, but you have a dense location or a neighborhood you're trying to target that's beside that, move your pin so it's kind of over the rural area, because Facebook's naturally going to pull the audience from where the population is. So that's going to essentially limit your, it's going to make a way smaller radius. There's so many great hacks you can do to limit your radius if you have, features around where you're targeting.
I'm going to show you the ads. So this is the 3-bedroom ad that Linnea is running. See all available 3-bedroom homes in Bonnie Lake. Real nice image. Where'd you get that image, by the way, Linnea?
I just took it from Canva.
Perfect.
I just searched 3-bedroom homes and it pulled up a bedroom with the number 3 above it. Up ahead with the number 3. I was like, cool.
And then the seller ad, this is the key here for all of you that are looking in this and saying, well, what makes it different than the maps that you're running with the templates? You know, you just got to remember when you're looking at the funnels and you're trying to figure out, this is foundations, this is function, like the, you know, fundamentals 101, StreetText. Really learn how to use these properly. If someone were to buy your home, would you sell it, find its value in the current market? Well, if you click select there, you're only going to have the option of a map. And that's it. A map, a satellite image of the map, or terrain. Similarly with any of the map ads, the equity, so forth. But this What's Your Home Really Worth ad with this blue home gives you the option of uploading your own images. So that is where you go and create something like this. So this is not a 15-mile radius. This is about a 5-mile radius. And what Linnea has done is a KV core search to find properties over 900,000 or 800,000. And so, and appealing to that 3 to 5 mile radius within our KV core, she basically snapshot and then uploads it right into that funnel. And then it becomes saved as your images. And so what you'll think about as you're testing all these with What's Your Home Really Worth, there's a lot of different ways to do it, right? You can take in landscapes, you can do a combination of imagery like this, you know, and I think Linnea, what she'll tell you, she's known for doing a little bit of it all. This is the Halloween one that she did, you know. She's not afraid to fail either, but she'll fail forward, right? And, you know, she's tried a little bit of everything. And I think this is what she's found is her best, you know, is this style of ad at this moment. But you gotta be able to A/B test inside of this funnel. And A/B test would be different, using different images within the context of What's Your Home Really Worth. Enter your address, receive your home value. And with every A/B test, you always split test, right? Because at the end of the day, you go into, you know, picking your, I'd get really clear with using the drop pin. Get comfortable with that because you really want to be able to move this in and around to figure out your ideal area. Once you're clear with that, then everything is a matter of choosing your ad budget and then split testing that for that 48-hour period. And then you that's your recipe for ad performance, right? And then once you kind of land that, the key is if you're looking at your ads and you see the lifetime of your ad spend, you know, Linnea's up at about $500 on this one with a $13 a day budget. And then the last 7 days, as long as they're kind of equal, you know, and they're not going too far from each other because things happen, seasons happen, and so forth. But as long as they're pretty much equal, you've got an ad that you can continue on indefinitely, especially considering when people are sharing and commenting like this. This is going to keep that ad performance going for a while. So that's kind of your tip for the ad performance side there. Any questions on that?
Well, Linnea be doing one of those classes you can buy from StreetText? Because she's got a lot.
Yes, it's funny you ask. We're working on that. So
yeah, she needs one because I'm trying to follow her and I'm like, okay, I'm lost. I need help.
Yeah, it's coming. Well, she's got a lot going on.
Good.
Joe, this is where you come down to the famous, and like Marcus said, don't overwhelm yourself. You know, I always say one positive thing a day, but it doesn't mean you'll be able to add something every day out of this. It doesn't, if it's once a week, it don't matter. Grow. Everybody has their own learning curve. Grow at your pace, but you got to start at the beginning, because if you jump halfway through it without going through the first half, you're going to miss something important. And then you could have the best stuff going, but because you skipped the first part of it, you're not going to get the results you want. So take and walk your way through this. Look what's there. Take notes. StreetText Insider Group is great. You can ask a question at 3 o'clock in the morning. Somebody's going to answer you. So just walk your way through it. You know, you got to crawl before you walk, before you run. So just don't get ahead of yourself, because that would create your own frustration that you don't need.
I've been running Facebook ads and I've got so many leads, but what I don't have are processes. Like I just want a nice clean process that works, you know, like from A to B, because I ran ads, and that's what made me go to StreetText. I realized people don't understand what it takes to find a good ad that works. it took me a lot. And I found one that worked with all that work. And I was like, I can't do this again. So then when I saw StreetText, I said, oh, they A/B, they split test, everything is done really quick. Then I said, okay, I got that. But what do I do after that? That's like you said, and I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna, like you said, right after this class, I'm going straight to the academy, and I'm just gonna go boom, 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 and just get it done.
So think so if it says you're schooling for the day, think the StreetText is K through 6th grade. And then as you start jumping into the stuff that Jennifer, Jenke, and them have, that's when you get in junior high, high school, and a little bit of college. If you don't have the beginning nuts and bolts, you don't have the wrenches to put it together.
Joe, do you have a CRM?
Yes, I have KV Core.
Okay. Yeah, so when a lead comes in, let your funnel, like build your funnel, humanize it, make it your own, put your videos in it, because that's going to be the most important part. The next important part is getting those leads, making sure they're going into your KV Core, and then you're going to have a system. Once they get there, what are you going to do? So you're going to do the CMA. You're going to send through what you found, try to get the appointment to let them know that you can't give them a true value of their home until you actually see their home. And, put a calendar link in there so that you can book them. And then set up tasks. So like KV Core, I mean, I have Follow Up Boss, but I know every CRM should have tasks. Mm-hmm. So once you work that lead, do a task for call tomorrow or whenever you want, like, whatever you want to do, but set a task for it. That way, when you wake up in the morning, you hit your tasks, it's going to tell you everything you're supposed to do that day. You know what I mean? Because it will get overwhelming when you're working with so many and you're going to lose track. So lead comes in, this is what you're going to do. And then you're going to set a task for the next thing. And once that's done, set a task for the next thing, but your funnel is still running at the same time. So don't be running things out of, both systems, but like we have, we're going to send them the CMA. We're going to set them up on HomeBot. We're going to make sure our value looks like that value. You know what I mean? Then we're going to do a CMA drop off. Then we're going to call, so just set your tasks up so that every day you can wake up, you're going to work the new leads, and then you're going to work on all your tasks and like set, 2 or 3 hours aside to take care of all that every day.
Question, Wendy, like at what point do you, because I know StreetText has follow-up, at what point do you let it cross over to your CMA and let your CMA take over, or are they both talking to your lead?
Yeah, so the funnel through StreetText is automated, so it doesn't give any personal stuff. You know what I mean? You're not really talking to them. You're just doing a bunch of stuff that's going to a bunch of people, right? So when it goes into my CRM, that's when I get personal, and you can do a personal video. You can personally go over their CMA on a screen share, and say their name and hold up your big phone, with their name or whatever you want to do. But that's when you're going to get personal with them. You're still going to get personal with them because they're going to see your videos and see your Facebook link and try to find you and stalk you and stuff like that through your funnel. But we use our CRM for, the more personal touches.
So how quickly does it happen? You do
immediately.
Oh, immediately.
Yeah. So immediately they're getting something from the funnel, right? They're getting a text and an email stating, thank you for inquiring about your home's value. We are on it, blah, blah, blah. And then it's shooting over into our system because I don't know how. I don't remember if it's zapped or if it just does it. I think Follow Up Boss just is
email
connected
parsing.
with
email parsing.
What?
Email parsing.
Email parsing. Yeah. So as soon as my email sees that there's a new lead in StreetText, it goes right into my Follow Up Boss magically. Anyway, and it will do that with KV Core too, right, Marcus?
That's right. That's correct.
I don't know everything technical.
Yes,
I just know.
Absolutely. Like you'll find, Joe, again, in the beginning, just be patient with yourself, give yourself some grace. Look at the StreetText calendar, try to book one of each. do the automations workshop with Ira, so you learn a little bit about email drip and SMS. Do the ad performance review, so you're getting clear on what that's all about and testing and trying out different ads and funnels. Obviously, you're at the mastermind. There's a conversion workshop. I mean, start with the StreetText Academy, but you'll just learn that it all comes down just to humanizing every step of the way. And then, at the end of the day, that's the foundation of it all. And just being genuine, being someone that's, serving and not selling, being someone that is, coming from contribution. And then you just really want to be measuring that. And think about it more as creating conversations rather than converting. And just be measuring everything that you send their way and making sure they're receiving it. And obviously the best measurement is getting feedback from that person. And then just staying in front of them along the way with good tools and integrations like HomeBot, is going to be helpful for you. So that'd be my key recommendation there. And you'll learn as you go that's kind of the way everybody does it. They just have different ways over time that becomes more scalable for them.
All right, guys, I gotta go. See ya. Have a great day.
Thanks, Wendy.
Thanks, Wendy. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. We'll wrap it up there. Take that one thing that was gold for you, that gold nugget, put it back today in action, whether it's role play, whether it's video, whether it's going to go do that StreetText Academy, that one thing. And then while it's fresh, write it down, put it in the insider community if you need some help to discuss it, and we'll be there for you.
And if you have something that you do that works, or like I say, there's more than one right way, share it in the group, Joe, because everybody builds off everybody here. And that's really the goal that comes out of this is, when Marcus said earlier about Linnea, says when she fails forward, if something doesn't work, we just tell people. And then that saves you going down the same road. And it just, that's more the gold you get out of this.
Awesome.
Looks like we had a quick question from Dee Jones there. She's got her hand risen. Dee, still there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, shoot.
Sorry, I'm headed to a home inspection. So in lieu of having an ISA, can the like ISA, of course, we're always busy. We can't a video ask those preliminary at the buyer when it's pertaining to ad.
Hey D, we can't hear you. It's cutting in and out. So my recommendation is keep that on top of your mind. And when you're done driving, pull over and write that question in the insider group, and then all of us can participate on dialoguing on that particular question. Okay. All right, everybody. Have a great Well, you're done with the mastermind. Have a great day, and we'll talk soon. Thanks, guys.